What is going on, YouTube family? I hope you had a great Wednesday up until this point, and hopefully, this show will make your day even better. If you've had a bad day, we hope that we can turn those frowns upside down into smile. I know that's corny. Let me stop. Anyway, we're here tonight on another Palmetto Cats Live, guys. I have some awesome guests. You've seen them already. If you watch Muskrat and Creole show, they were on there and got introduced to the community. And we're kind of going to do another dive into who is JR Fishing. Um, so we'll get into that in just a second. Thank you for everybody coming in. I see you over there. We got some Boom Squad members. LG Bass. I saw Uncle Jeep in here earlier. Adventures with Robin C is in here. Thank you to those. Thank you to everybody for being here. Two Stands Fishing. Sogo was in here. Thank you so much. Fishing with Big Mike was the first one in. Rod Knockers, what's going on? These Boom Squad members, Wayne. I just want to thank you. Here's William from Facebook. Thank you for coming on the Facebook side. Boom Squad members, thank you so much for supporting me monthly financially. You help keep the gas in the boat. You help on those days when I need some bait. You help out with all that. Without you, this channel would be a lot harder to run, and I would probably get in a lot of trouble financially with my better half over there in the kitchen if I had to spend all our money on gas. Thank you so much. I want to give a special shout out to River Whiskers. He has been a Diamond Boom Squad member for 2 years. My longest running membership so far, River Whiskers. If you're out there tonight or if you watch this back later, muchos gracias, senor. Thank you so much for being a Boom Squad member for so long. I appreciate you. All right, guys, let's get into this. Daniel Adams from Facebook. Caw-caw, he said. Speaking of Creole, there's Creole right there. I'm not sure if I saw Roger come in, but again, if you want to see kind of that show, go back. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. They had JayRFishing on. But to that end, I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. What's up, JayRFishing? Richard and Jamie, correct?
Yes.
What's up, guys?
Oh, not much. How about you?
Oh man, I couldn't. I'm tickled to have you guys on. We'll get into how I found you guys in a minute. But who's that there on the table?
This is Georgia.
This is the sweetest peach.
So you named her Georgia after the Georgia Bulldogs or after your state?
After the state, not those puppies.
Oh, okay.
Not those puppies.
I was gonna say, you might have lost a little cool points there, but nah, I can't say anything. They did win the national championship twice.
Yeah.
But
What
we're
is
not
it
here to
about
talk
the
about
Peach
them.
Girls?
We're not here to talk about them. But guys, I first saw you on TikTok before I got rid of it. I was trying to get in there and get my social media on TikTok, and I saw you guys fishing. You guys are kind of killing it over there. 15.5 thousand TikTok followers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it's killing it, but it's definitely it's been a crazy journey for sure to find this many people that want to hang out with us while we fish and all kinds of crazy adventures.
That's a cool way to put it. Not like they want to watch us, go live and talk. They want to actually hang out with us.
I mean, we definitely feel that it's more than a following; it's a community that. Yeah, we've got people that have been here since day one of the first ever TikTok live. That was absolutely miserable. The seaweed was terrible in Florida. We're trying to surf fish. It was rough. And they were like, oh, these people are not having a good time. We should hang out with them. And that's just, here we are.
I mean, in all of our social media platforms, the biggest thing is it's the adventures. It's the fishing adventures with Jamie and Richard.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are truly adventures. They're chaos, they're smooth sailing, and they're funny and educational, all kind of wrapped into one chaotic package.
Mm. Well, I can't put it up on screen, but thank you, Hooks and Hammocks, for your 21-month milestone super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know when StreamYard is going to let us do that or highlight those. They'll catch up one day. But yeah, no, I agree. You know, fishing in general, and I definitely agree with that on YouTube. I don't know so much about TikTok. You guys would know more than I would, but definitely on YouTube, you feel that family environment. And actually, just Monday, I was live on my channel for about 8 hours, and I just had a blast. You know, just sitting there, and I think you really feel that when you're not on the fish. Do you agree? Like when you're not on the fish, and people are still in there talking to you and chatting with you.
I mean, there's a lot of days where we haven't caught anything 7, 8 hours straight, and like I'm looking at the people that are still watching us, and I'm like, what are y'all still doing here? I thought y'all were here to watch fishing, but like we're talking and interacting and having just as good of a time as we would be if we had 17 fish caught at the same time.
Well, I mean, technically, they are watching you fish.
It's the catching part that they're not watching.
I feel that on our slow days that it brings us a little bit closer to our following. Whether, we're just getting into YouTube and, with our TikTok viewers that have been sitting there watching us struggle, watching us grow, it gives us more time to connect with the community and spread information.
Yeah. And we talked about it before the show. We're going to get into that. You got a fan over on Facebook. Or is this you? Hey, hey, Uncle Jesse.
That is me. My uncle Jesse is in the chat on Facebook.
Okay, Jesse. Okay, yeah, that's confusing. All right, we have some JR fans in here. Let's see. Goober Time TV Dan says they put on a great show. Let's see. Fins Up Catfishing's in the house. Daniel Adams said, "We the silly gooses."
That is right. That's true. We are silly gooses.
Tell me about that.
So it was kind of an accident. We were bank fishing one day, and me and Jamie were joking around like we weren't catching anything. This is like dog days of summer. It was just a really light environment. Like if you can't laugh and cut up and enjoy the days that you're not going to catch anything, but you try anyways, you're going to be miserable in the summer. It is what it is. And I don't remember what the joke was, but I was picking on Jamie, and there's a couple geese sitting in the water over there. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "You're going to be such a silly goose. You can go get in the water with all those other silly gooses." And it just
stuck.
We were live when it was said, and all of a sudden we're all silly gooses.
I mean, a lot of our followers and a lot of our really good followers, Arizona Big Man's one of them. I first remember him coming into the live and dad jokes. I was like, if you have dad jokes, like we need a pick me up. Like we're not catching anything. It's hot. It's miserable. What are your best dad jokes? And so all of our following ate it up. They loved it. So we were just a bunch of silly gooses.
And once you do something like that, it's funny how people like grab onto that and hang on to it and bring it up over and over. Like I never meant to sing a lot on my YouTube lives, but I do it naturally. Like I'll sing around the house, just silly, crazy stuff. I'll make up words and stuff. So I started doing it on a live stream, and for some reason, this song, the Night Rider song by Sister Christian, popped into my head, and I was like, "Motoring," and it stuck. And so that's like everybody says, motoring. And it's funny how people just hang on to that and they associate that with you. So the silly gooses, I mean, you should make a t-shirt.
We thought about it.
Muskrat said, someone say dad jokes?
I love dad jokes. They're
like
funny.
In the dog days of summer when you're not catching fish and it's just hot, it's humid, it's that rough East Coast, Southeast summer.
And there's bugs everywhere.
And somebody's got a really good corny dad joke. For some reason, it just fits.
Yeah.
When you read the joke and you were like, really? But on the inside, you're like a 3-year-old just dying laughing.
Yeah, doing a goofy laugh.
Dad jokes, like a lot of them can be appropriate, and it works for a lot of our younger viewers as well. Because we do have some teenage viewers that it's like, all right, we can't cut up enough to be, strictly 18 and up. We want it to be completely family friendly, and that's something that we talk about all the time. But dad jokes are super easy going, and everybody can enjoy them.
Hit me with your most favorite one right now. On the spot. I'm gonna let you think
on
about
the spot.
Bugman said the nature organic thing like that is genuine. So yeah, I think I know what he's saying. It's like when it's just natural, like when it's natural and it just happens organically. That's the moments that really sticks to you. Yeah, people are saying motoring in the chat. Motoring. Filet, yeah, talking like Creole. You got one?
Yeah, I do.
Go for it.
Why are chickens so funny?
I'm done with you.
That noise is the noise that I make when I catch a fish on chicken, because there's so many haters that don't think you should fish with chicken. And it doesn't matter if you care or not, but I go chicken.
My outlook on fishing with chicken is like, if I put some good fried chicken on the hook, could I catch you? Right. I think if you put chicken on the hook, like, we catch a lot of people with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tasty.
Yeah. The Weekend English says, Uncle Jeep, every time Kevin sings 80s music, he makes me appreciate the original artist just a little more. Thanks, Josh. Thanks. Cody said, dad jokes help keep the world sane. Daniel Adams said, how do you track Will Smith in the snow? Uh-oh.
Fresh Prince.
Okay. I was thinking of that slap, I was like, uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Wesley said, Jamie Rich, you're the silliest gooses to catch fish on live.
That's our Woody.
Yeah.
Mr. Woody Woodworth.
Murillo approved of your joke. I'm trying to catch up to the chat on bottom, make sure Ashley Brady's in the house. Nothing but love. Bugman said, I would never have thought about chicken until this community. Yeah, I mean, I never would have either. And then I saw videos of people catching on chicken from a couple of years back. It's like, I'm going to try that. Let's see if it works here. And hey, lo and behold. Here we go. We got another dad joke. What do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us? Samantha Woodsworth said, there is Georgia, the rotten princess.
She's actually on our website under the staff as the rotten princess.
She is.
Well, 158 followers on YouTube before the show. Hopefully, you will win the hearts of those in chat and we can improve those numbers. But what kind of made you want to, start taking YouTube more seriously? And you don't have to talk about negative things that made you want to do it, like we kind of talked about before. There's some things that are distasteful about both platforms, but on the positive side, what's a positive reason you want to try to develop your YouTube channel?
I feel like TikTok is more catered toward the person than what they're doing. And by that, I feel like YouTube, like, this live is going to be recorded. There's no editing, cutting, it's going to be posted. This entire interaction is going to be available for anyone that missed it, for anyone that wants to rewatch it in case they missed something. So when you're looking at the side of, we want to help anglers of all ages learn safe tactics to catch fish. It's not just safe for the angler, but also safe for the fish. And help with that conservation and protecting the fisheries for the future so that we don't ruin what we have. that YouTube gives you so much more opportunity that a video posted today, a kid can watch 6 months from now.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah,
You never know who's going to run across it.
that's true.
Whereas with TikTok, if you don't find our account and scroll through videos that we posted 6 months ago, odds are won't get 3 views in the next year.
That is different. Yeah.
Once they've quit trending, they're done. We've had videos that literally haven't moved a single view in 6 months. And
now that's still that does still happen on YouTube. But the difference in YouTube is if you have a good video that like hits pretty good, like I don't know, let's say that your average is like 800 views on a video. And if you have a video that does like 2,000 views, the YouTube will promote it every once in a while. So my first viral video was a Kool-Aid chicken video, believe it or not. And it went viral. It was my first one ever go over 10,000, then 20, then 50. Now it's at 100 and something thousand. And every summer it gets 20,000 views because people are looking for bait or they're looking for those topics. So that's one thing I like about YouTube is even though the video may not continually do well all the time, it does seasons, if you want to put it like that.
Right, like YouTube gives it a chance to still be out there. And that's kind of it's a very different platform.
Yeah.
YouTube favors more in-depth things. Like obviously there's YouTube Shorts coming up, and that's a very fast growing side of YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's not the core of YouTube.
Gotcha.
Where it's really hard to put any big value in a 15-second TikTok.
Yeah. That's true. Fish Fever said YouTube has helped people on so many things for years. Fishing, changing tires, selling kidneys. It's amazing.
You watched that kidney video too?
Yeah, I mean, how many of us have had to fix something that we have no expertise in, and we were able to do it? Like I changed a garbage disposal after watching YouTube.
Well, I mean, I'm a mechanic, so I would never YouTube how to work on something to see if somebody could save me an hour. I would not do that. But I did really fast injectors on a Dodge right before Christmas.
Ashley said, yep, when I'm in doubt, YouTube it out.
Yeah, well, you got to consult Dr. Google, and he normally refers you to the YouTube textbook that has a step-by-step instructional.
Yeah. Well, I know you went through these next couple questions on Creole and Muskrat show, but just in case people didn't pick it up, so are you guys originally from Georgia?
50% of us are.
Okay. All right.
I am. Jamie's from Colorado.
Yep, I was born and raised in Western Colorado, and I moved out here a little over a year ago.
Oh, wow. That's a big move.
It's a full year and a half now.
Okay, a full year and a half.
So tell me about you guys' relationship.
So you want to start at the beginning?
I mean, whatever's relevant.
I mean, we met on TikTok.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. Well, I met my wife on Match.com, so you're not surprising me. So go ahead.
Yeah. We both had personal TikToks accounts. Some videos, JayRFishing lately keep freezing. Yeah, Chris, I don't understand what's going on with us. I think every phone I own might be broken, if possible.
But your sound is fine, so we know what you look like. Go ahead.
So we both had personal TikTok accounts, and it was just, it wasn't really directed toward anything. It was like something happens in the middle of the day, post a quick video of it, move on about your life. And then COVID hit, and it was like, oh, we can't go out and do anything. Let's sit live and talk to people on TikTok. And was just scrolling lives one night after work and ran into this chick sitting on her bed, hanging out, complaining that she got kicked off TikTok for a week. And I was like, well, she's listening to good music and this sounds informative. I'm about to learn what not to do. And then I just kept showing up after work every day. And then she got on a plane, and here she is.
That's awesome.
And she flew out here once, and then she went home and was really upset and was like, I really want to come back. And I was like, well, then pack up and come back.
So TikTok brought you together.
They did.
That's an awesome story.
And like, what are the odds that the random person I meet on TikTok fishes and likes to fish as much as I do? And to be honest, guys, I hate to admit it, there are some days that like I just don't feel like dealing with it.
Yeah.
Because like there's certain parts of the show that like I have to do to get set up.
Right.
And that's the same with whether we're live or not. Even before the social media side, it was like, do I want to lug all this stuff down to the water, get set up, go fish? It was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's a rough day. I don't really want to. And she was like, you want to go fish? And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever, get in the truck.
So I work from home. I have a remote job since I moved out here. And even before I moved out here, when I lived in Colorado, I had a fishing pole and my tackle box in my car 24/7.
Wow.
It never worked. And so now that we're here and I work from home, I don't get out much. And so I was looking at him and I'm like, let's go fish. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, come on, it'll be fun.
Twist
and
my arm.
Yeah, I got him into our light.
We went through a mini rod date. It was supposed to be a date night. So, like, leave everything you own fishing related at home.
At home.
Go to Walmart. Buy a kid's rod. I cannot stand using push button reels. I despise it. I'd rather hand line.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, the Avengers kid spinning rod. That's what I'm going to fish with. And she was like, oh, I'm going to get that one too. So then we had to like make it date night tournament thing. Most fish, biggest fish, smallest fish.
That's right.
Still to this day, I hold the record for smallest fish caught on that rod.
No, you have the biggest fish. I have the smallest fish and the most fish.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, like, you're always going to lose, Richard.
Yeah, well, like, she catches the fish. I'm the chauffeur. I just put her there, and I'm like, here are fish. Go out and catch them.
You know, that's an interesting date night. Like, my wife and I, we looked at things like that, and there's date nights where you go out without a plan. You just go to Walmart, and you do a Walmart date night. You get your meal, your dessert, your movie, your activity, everything from there, and you pick it out together. So that's kind of cool that you took that, and I'm not saying that's where you got it from, but it sounds very similar. You took that on the fishing side and made it even better. So
I mean, we had heard of that, but it was like, we're not going to drag a tackle box. We're going to go buy 2 packs of little snelled salmon egg hooks and some really small worms.
There you go.
And we pack a split shot and some cheap pliers and this little bitty pouch that has a shoulder strap so you can carry this and like go walking off through the woods to our pond.
That's really cool. So yeah, we have some other online dating stories in chat.
I think I saw an eHarmony one.
Yeah, Josh, the weekend angler, and his wife Christina met on eHarmony. There you go. There's absolutely nothing wrong with meeting your spouse online. Christina and I are eHarmony couple. It works. And then I believe I saw Creole catfishing. Yeah, him and Laura met through MySpace.
Wow, I remember when I had a MySpace. Like
I never had a MySpace.
I had a MySpace when I was 23 years old, and then I don't have a MySpace anymore.
Did you actually delete it?
Yeah, I deleted it.
Okay.
Yeah. MySpace back in the day. Let's see. Can I be on your top 8? Yeah. Remember that?
That was such a stressful time in life because you didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, it's like, can I have a top 100, please?
Or can we just get rid of it? Introduction, Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. I remember when, and we won't dwell on this too much, chat. I'm sorry, but it came up. Um, I remember when Facebook come out, and some of my friends are on it, and I'm like, yeah, nah, MySpace is cooler. I wouldn't do fa-
You were like, I remember that time period because it was like Facebook was so dull and just like
Mhm.
default. And MySpace, like
Yep.
you could Google all these really cool codes, and everybody thought you knew
Uh,
how to write coding.
yeah, there you go, Daniel Adams. The music codes you put up on there, yeah, it was decked out playlist. Yeah, I remember that. And you can do colors and all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, it's just like when uh the internet came out, and everybody I wanted AOL just like my friends, so I could have Messenger. And my mom heard about this thing called cable internet. She goes, I heard it's way better. And I'm like, no, I want AOL. And now you're like, you turn down cable internet? Mark said he met his wife at ladies' night.
I think that's cheating.
You think it's cheating?
Like I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be there.
Oh man. So from Colorado, my grandmother lives in Fruitia. Do you know where that is?
In Fruta, I actually lived in that area, so that's the western slope is what it's called. I guess a blanket term for all of the little cities and towns in the Grand Valley.
Okay.
And I actually graduated from Fruta Monument High School.
Wow, look at that. Small world. Now she's not originally from there, or I would say, do you know my grandma? But she's she's from Gunnison originally.
My
Yes.
my stepmom
Do you
grew
know
up.
my grandma? Sandy James?
Sandy James. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound familiar. I know a couple Sandys, but I don't think I know a Sandy James.
And
Gunson's
my
actually where you ice fish.
Mm-hmm.
uncle's up there, and yeah, it's I remember we'd go up, and my uncle would take me to the ponds that are right off the highway. I guess the where the mountains would melt into these ponds, and we'd catch rainbow trout out of them.
Yep, it's fairly common.
It's pretty cool.
That's what we did on our vacation. When we went to Colorado at the end of I guess end of this last year, beginning of this
Mhm.
year, is we went out and visited my family in Colorado, and my aunt and uncle Jesse Gallegos was like, "Hey, if you're gonna go to Blue Mesa Reservoir, this is the spot. You know,
Blue
this is
Mesa,
where
I've
we
heard of that.
usually
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ice fishing." And we were looking at the ice report, and it was like 18 plus inches of ice, and I was like, "I'm down. Let's go." So we went with my dad and my sisters and my mom, and we had a good time, and we just kept going back with friends and tearing it up down there.
So is that how? I mean, is that really how you got into fishing, or was it something come before that?
Um, I mean, I grew up fishing with my family. It was something that we did all the time when we went camping, especially during the summer. This year, though, is the first time that either of us had gone ice fishing, but fishing is
Mm.
definitely something that we grew up doing.
Nice. Yeah, I've never tried ice fishing. I've been invited to come up and fish. I think I got an invite from Tara and Luke last week, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, that's awesome, man. You have those stories growing up, and it's hard for me to even remember when I started fishing. It's just always been.
Right.
Is it like that for you too, Richard?
Coming from Georgia where we don't get ice, the concept of getting on ice.
Well, I meant just fishing in general. Has it always just been you've just always been fishing, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My grandfather was, I guess he was a bass angler, like through the BASS association, doing a lot of the tournaments across the southeast. up until I was probably 6 or 7.
Okay.
So then every chance that we had when we were at my dad's house, my grandfather would just take us fishing and be like, "Oh, your dad's got to work, so we're going fishing." And like most kids would be like, "Oh no, dad's got to work. We can't have no fun." And we were like, "Yes." Yeah, that's kind of what helps drive me to want to teach, not just people of younger ages, but anyone. But it really gives you a soft spot for the kids of a younger generation to know that, you know, a good majority of what I learned growing up fishing, if my grandfather hadn't taken the time to teach me how to fish, there wasn't anyone else that was going to. So it definitely, like, I don't want that to be the reason that no one got to try it.
That's powerful. You know, if it wasn't for that one person, you wouldn't even be sitting here right now. You may
That's
not have.
100% true.
You may not even ever met Jamie. You know,
I mean, I don't even know where sandwiches live.
Well, let's talk about that a little more. You know, we talked about kind of why you want to build your YouTube channel, but what's your purpose for fishing live or fishing in general on social media? You kind of touched on it with the education part, but is there anything else to go with it, or do you want to talk about that more in depth?
So the education thing's a big thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff that, especially in our state, that people don't realize is very harmful. And with you being from the Santee Cooper area, you've seen it firsthand what commercial fishing and overfishing can do in the long run. Yeah, the Santee Cooper is not the same fishery it was 10 years ago. And Georgia's starting to be that way. Guys all the time are like, "Oh, we used to catch these fish and that fish, and now we can't hardly catch any fish." And I'm like, there's a reason for that. And if we all kind of work together to help protect this, I'm not saying we got to stop fishing, because I don't believe that proper fishing techniques are that intrusive to fish. I don't feel like if you do things the right way, it puts a huge hurting on the environment. Let's clean up after ourselves. Let's stop dumping things in our water. Let's stop wasting fish. You know, I saw on a Facebook post in a local lake group, there were like 40 blue cats thrown off the side of the road that were all over 7-8 pounds, the biggest being close to 50.
They just threw them?
Like literally, they're stacked. Like they stopped on the side of the road and started chucking fish out the boat.
You know, some people believe that. Like I think up in the DC area, I heard like they want you to like kill them. They want you to get them out of there. I wonder if that's something. Steve Douglas just popped in, wants me to reintroduce you guys. I guess we can do that for Steve.
I mean, I guess for him, you know.
This is Jamie and Richard. And for anybody else who's just coming in, Jamie and Richard, they make up JayRFishing. They're a TikTok, YouTube fishing couple that does a lot of live streams. And they're trying to build their YouTube channel now. They've been building the TikTok channel for a while, and they're making their move to kind of, I don't know, come into the YouTube community and just kind of make a home here with us. So again, welcome guys, and hopefully by the end of this show we can get you guys a little bit more family members. But yeah, I agree. I think there's a certain type of person that either doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand what that kind of behavior can do to the waters around them.
I mean, that's something that we kind of experience as well, is that, you know, we've been informed that Lake Sidney Lanier, when they hold some catfish tournaments, and they want you to kill your catfish at weigh-in, because they're invasive. And that's something that we want to spread knowledge on, is that just because they aren't 100% native, that they were introduced in the 70s, or, the 1800s, just because they weren't, here from the dawn of time, doesn't mean that they don't currently have a niche in the habitat now and in the fisheries. So the more we can get the knowledge and the word out there that these fish are already there, and if we continue to manage, CPR your big fish, you want that genetic to go back into the fishery. Don't take more than you'll eat. If you're gonna catch, fillet, eat your catches, don't take more than you can eat or you plan on eating. I mean, we'll do a spring run where we go and we set jugs and we catch, some smaller catfish for the family, and then that's it. Everything else for the rest of the year for our catfish is catch and release.
Right.
If we plan on eating the bass we catch, or the crappie, or the red drums, it's, we never keep more than we'll eat.
Right.
A lot of people in Georgia haven't realized that most catfish are a game fish in Georgia now.
Really?
So they have that protection.
And
it's something that we've even talked to local DNR about, and it's something that we're really trying to figure out, like, what do we do about this? How as people do we better police ourselves? But we were on a lake 2 months ago, and on our way back to the ramp, we've been on the water for over 12 hours. Hadn't seen another boat all day. And somebody's jug line came swimming past the boat. And I'm like, that's a flathead, but he didn't swim 3 miles today. And I can see almost a mile in any direction, and I haven't seen another boat in 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, that fish may have accidentally fallen off the hook. I don't really know what happened to that fish, because he definitely stopped pulling the jug around with him. But you could tell that the hook was rusty, the line was stained muddy, the jug had water lines on it. That was gear that was used legally, but left illegally and unattended, and now it's harmful to the environment.
Yeah, and not only that, it trashes up the lake, trashes up the river. And I'm not saying, I think I agree with what Jamie said as well. Like, there's nothing wrong, unless, as long as you're legal, there's nothing wrong with harvesting fish. And we talk about this all the time on YouTube shows. There's nothing wrong with harvesting fish as long as you're doing it the legal way. Even if you keep a big one, if like here you're allowed one over 32 inches per day here. Now, would I like to see you throw that one back? Of course. But it's your legal right as an American citizen and a fishing license holder that you can keep that fish every day that you catch it. What I don't like, and what I like about South Carolina, and I'm not sure if we're enforcing it right now, is we have the 28 a day rule, and you still get your 1 over 32, but you can't catch more than 28. And what you'll see down here on Santee Cooper is you'll see people keeping like coolers full all the time. Here's the difference, though. I think, and I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I think there's a difference between the tourist that comes down to the lake, fishes for 2 days, gets a cooler full of catfish, goes home and doesn't fish again for the rest of the year. There's a difference between that person and the person, like Jamie said, that like just keeps taking and keeps taking and keeps taking. And I'm not gonna lie, my dad and I used to be like that, and for a lot of the time my dad will still keep everything that he catches. But I'd like to think that we both practice selective harvest now, and we like catching them big trophy catfish, so we're gonna let them go. Still a little bit hard for old Pops to grasp that. he
Yeah,
said
it's understandable.
it's sacrilegious to throw back a cat or a fish, but you know, I think he sees what I'm at least he understands what I'm doing. And I think that's the biggest part is if we can get just people to understand and see why we do that, then at least they know and they can think about it.
Yeah. There was a YouTube video, and I really wish that I could find it again. If anyone happens to run across it, just send it to us because I would like to save it to refer to people. But it's a gentleman that's sitting in his kayak at his favorite honey hole fishing spot that he used to keep a secret. And he was all about flathead fishing. But when he was younger, he would keep all his flatheads and he harvested them and he ate them. And that was just what they did in his generation. You know, it's like your dad. He's used to harvesting everything you catch. And he saw how hard it was to catch flatheads as he got older and the increased amount of trash in that area. And now he's really adamant about put these flatheads back.
Is
And
it
kind of,
Chris Flores, Muddy River Catfishing?
it might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
He's got a video like that where he's sitting in his boat on the Muddy River and he's talking about it and then he actually catches one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's Chris Flores.
okay. That video really hit home to me. Just seeing it is not uncommon in Georgia for a guy to catch a 50-pound flathead, throw it in the bed of his truck and show his buddies in town, and then dump that fish out in the ditch. And that's like a 30-year-old fish. Like, why do we not, people care about their deer, and, I feel like most wildlife has an activist group trying to save them that doesn't understand that animal, but nobody understands the fish better than the people that chase them day in and day out.
Yeah.
We know their habitats. We know their habits, what they're doing, where they're going, kind of what their mindset is, but we get to see the health of them continuously. If there is any slight change.
So they just throw them back? They throw them in the ditch? They don't eat them or nothing?
No. They'll forget about it in the bed of the truck. It'll swell up, start to stink, and they'll toss it off the side of the road.
See, so I mean, there's a difference between like I said, if you caught that 50-pound flathead and you want to eat them, it's your legal right to eat that fish. You can take it, but just to let it waste, that would make me upset too.
That and pay lakes have become such a big thing that it's.
Yeah, we can do a whole show on pay lakes.
We could do a whole season.
Yeah,
but it's. The sad thing is if you scratch through Georgia's law with a fine-tooth comb, they technically shouldn't be legal.
Yeah.
Because you can't transport non-native fish and put them in public water. And if your pond dumps water into a creek or stream that connects to a river, the water itself isn't your water.
That's a good little loophole there.
So, like, technically, if blue catfish are not native to your farm pond that you just dug that has no native fish, you have to buy your fish from the DNR that are on an acceptable list. Like, I can't go buy tilapia and put them in my private pond.
Right.
We have a 4-acre pond. By all rights, we should be able to put whatever we want to in it, right? Not tilapia, not goldfish, not a lot of other things. And that's if it's not native, you can't put it in the water. Well, how are they putting... I promise there's 0 blue cats and 0 flatheads in my pond.
Yeah. I think that must be a difference in each state because nothing's native to your pond if you dig it. Now, like you said, if it connects to a major waterway, and that's different. I want to take just a minute to welcome Don R. He became a Boom Squad member just now.
Oh,
thank you so much. Appreciate that, Don R. Don R supports a lot of people. Thank you for coming in and joining the team. Fishing Fever said some people are just ignorant, JR, and stay that way. That's true. Some people just don't want to. They don't want to hear it.
But is it? I agree that like some people they don't care. If you tell them, they don't care. But like, if you genuinely never know that catfish are not this crazy takeover thing. Now, we've all seen the video floating around in the Chesapeake Bay and all the blue cats or snakeheads or whatever they are, that like things can get out of hand. But most of these bodies of water have kind of self-regulated. The bass get a little quicker. They get away from them. They grow. They reproduce. Like the environment kind of balances out. But I feel like there are people that genuinely just don't have the knowledge.
Oh yeah.
They don't know. And if they were informed, they might look at it a little different and step back and be like, you know what, you're right. I wouldn't shoot every single deer that walks across my land. Why would I harvest every single fish that I possibly can?
Full circle. I see. I love it when my guests help me get my show on track. Full circle, because you just hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of people that just honestly don't know, and so that's one of your goals is that education. And I believe that most of us that actually create content on here definitely agree with you and try to do that as well. Um, what are you passionate about when it comes to fishing? Like, is it always just catfish, or do you like other species? Yeah, I see. Okay, let's hear from Jamie.
Um,
Wait,
he's looking.
do you have that tournament redfish shirt
I
on?
do. I have this year's tournament redfish shirt on.
Uh,
We absolutely. Richard's been red fishing for a couple years now, and when I moved down here and we went to Tybee with his mom and his stepdad, he's like, you're gonna learn, and I was like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna catch whatever in the ocean that's gonna bite my hook, and I am terrified. And so then after fishing and catching my first red drum, I absolutely fell in love with it. I'm absolutely hooked. So saltwater fishing is my deep love. I love it 100%.
yeah.
And I think I could say the same for Richard.
It is. I just kind of thought of this on the fly, but to sum up the things that we fish for, it's everything from shad to sharks. Everything in the food chain, all the way up. We chase shad. We'll chase bluegill. We were catching trout in Colorado. We'll catch carp. We'll catch crappie, bass, cats, and then the list is just as deep in the saltwater side of sharks and redfish, Spanish mackerel, stingrays, cobia, tarpon, whiting.
So I guess I didn't ask this question. Are you guys close to the coast?
About 4.5 hours from Tybee Island, right outside of Savannah, where we do most of our saltwater.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there's some good fishing down there.
So it makes little weekend trips.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Run down there, play on the beach.
Yeah, the Reds, man. So the Cooper River that I fish out of goes from the dam, which dams up Lake Moultrie, and it goes all the way down to the ocean here in Charleston, South Carolina. And so the farther you get down that river, it starts to turn brackish, and the catfish turn into sharks. Uh, like honestly, when you're reeling in a catfish or a blue fish looking fish, it could be a shark, it could be a bull shark or a catfish. You don't know. If it gets bitten off, it's probably a shark. And but
potato, tomato.
yeah, I mean they shoot. Both got teeth. Just one,
They're both skin fish.
True that. They're both purple. On the graph. But the reds, man, we'll catch reds every once in a while, and just the runs that they do are fantastic.
When you've got a 40-inch redfish on the end of the line, and you're casting 150 yards out on the beach, so he's already got some distance on you. You've got the rod set in the rod holder, and the drag's loose, so you don't lose all your gear. And you see the rod just wiggle, 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 and the reel starts screaming. And by the time you can run 5 feet, he's already took another 30, 40 yards of line. And it's just, he's already got so much leverage on you. That fight, there's not much, with even the 12-foot hammer that I caught, it's nothing compared to the smaller tackle with a big redfish.
And that's the big thing. Like, I've caught several reds on catfish, big heavy catfish tackle, and they do all okay. But having that light tackle, and fishing for reds, particular, I mean, that's so much fun.
I mean, there's not much that compares to it, but
Mhm.
my favorite is once you've got that red in and you're measuring it or you're taking photos with it and you can hear it drum.
Yeah.
And you hear it drum and you're like, this is an absolutely beautiful fish.
Mhm.
And then because they have such a delicate
Mhm.
swim bladder, I mean, we wade in, if we're surf fishing, we wade in with the fish and we revive it and we're sitting there holding it, waiting for it to, give you a slap on the thigh and swim off. I mean,
Mhm.
it's there's nothing that compares to that. It's absolutely beautiful.
I think saltwater is what kind of started the realization to us that we really enjoy educating people. When you're
Okay.
fishing on the pier and you've got a lot of just parents walking up onto that pier and
Mm.
they see you standing there holding a 5 foot shark and realize that their 4-year-old was just swimming right there, they lose their mind.
Yeah, they do.
And you've got to look at her and be like, well, first off, what do you know about like, have you ever touched a shark? Like, rub this direction on him, his skin feels like silk. Rub the other direction, you realize it's 80 grit sandpaper. And I was like, we don't bring these fish here. As cat fishermen, almost everybody in the chat can agree that if the fish aren't there, you can't catch them.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty logical.
But people at the beach don't understand that, like, if there's not sharks in the water, we're not going to catch them. I
Mhm.
can't, like, I don't ring them up on the telephone and be like, yo, I'll be out there at 4:45. You better be on my hook at 4:50.
It always makes me chuckle when you see the signs on the pier that says no shark fishing. I'm like, okay, well, bluefish, uh, whiting, all that, they eat the same stuff. You know,
So
am I shark
Georgia got rid
fishing?
of those signs.
Yeah.
Huh? They
State of
did?
Tybee got rid of those signs on the pier because they got sued.
Really?
So
Hmm.
city government can't overrule state jurisdiction,
Mm.
and the state is who controls the fishing game. So when they wrongfully arrested the person with the right lawyer and it went to state Supreme Court, they lost.
Hmm. Yep, it's easy to win over Joe Blow, but you find a Joe Blow with money, you better be ready to fight.
So yeah,
So,
it's educational to talk to people. That's what started this.
And
that's
I
good.
mean,
I mean, that's awesome.
the Jamie and Richard that you see, whether you catch us on TikTok or on YouTube, or even if you run into us, in a post on Facebook or Instagram, we are the exact same. So it's not a show for us. This is just who we are. I
Mm.
mean,
And you guys
Richard will
fish a
go on
lot.
a. Oh, we do a lot. And Richard will educate people, and it's something that I see, in person. We didn't go live much when we were in Tybee for the Red Drum tournament, but I mean, Richard's constantly talking to people. I'm constantly talking to people, and it's who we are. And
Yeah,
that's
you both are really easy to talk to. Like, you're very ready to talk about what you love doing. So we only got a little bit left. So tell people in chat and anybody who watches this back, what are they gonna see when they come to JayRFishing's YouTube channel?
oh well.
But you'll see one of these. And one of these. You can see some of these things right here.
Yeah, you guys are Hellcat ambassadors, right?
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it, I don't know. But they're
I
pro
don't know.
staff,
To be honest,
ambassador,
I don't know the
associate.
technical term for any of them.
We're pro staff, I guess.
Oh,
Pro
well, you have well, no,
ambassadors?
you have a code, right?
We do.
We do.
So you're an affiliate.
An
An
affiliate.
affiliate. See,
There you
everybody calls it something different depending on the company.
People make fun of me, but like I make fun of myself too. But like I've had an affiliate code for PC Fun for like 3 years, and that people are like, "Hey, Kev, you got a code for this? You got a code for that?" It's one of them fun things. But yeah, the affiliate code. What's your affiliate code in case people want to save some money on Cash Fever rods?
It is JR10, so that's JAYR10.
So you're in a boat now. You used to do a lot of more bank fishing.
We were doing a lot of bank fishing the dog days of summer, and we finally got tired of waiting on the fish to come to us. And we were like, you know what? We're getting a boat. We're gonna start tracking them down.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the fish.
How's that worked out?
You know, Jamie landed two flatheads over 40 pounds last year. So
I did. We've definitely increased our PB numbers. So I mean, if you tune into us, whether it's on YouTube or on TikTok, you'll catch us in the Gray Goose, and
that's the name of the boat.
Oh, I call it the Gray Goose or the Flock
because y'all are silly
Jockey.
gooses.
Yep, it's for all the silly gooses. The Flock Jockey.
Flock Jockey.
it's.
I'm telling you guys, this is a marketing thing. You need to market this. That's awesome.
But pretty much, I mean, we'll be sitting there attempting to catch whatever will bite on the hook most days.
Super Smurf.
We definitely enjoy talking. We do have our beard oil and our beard products. We are part of the Nocturnal Nation Pro Staff team.
Show Mark again there. Kind of lagging a little bit. Maybe there it is.
There you go.
Cool.
So that's the beard oil, beard wash.
Nice. I just actually cut mine off. I had one almost half the size of yours, Richard, and I just had to cut it off. I couldn't stand it no more. I have a lot of respect for you guys that can grow them out and deal with them. I don't have time for the maintenance.
The maintenance is a lot. Like, I got to be honest, it's not an easy thing. Yeah, Super Smurf was like, "What kind of beard oil do you use?"
Yeah, I saw that.
I actually make some.
And I saw that on your website, and I meant to mention something about it, so I'm glad he did it because I would have forgot. So yeah,
I'm terrible at marketing, so I don't ever remember to tell anybody either.
Do you have samples at Art?
Do I have samples? If one ton fishing hits me up, we can work something out.
There you go. There you go.
You've got my contact info.
Catfish Crappy says Eric uses duck fat for beard oil.
Hey, if it works, it works. No judgment here. I prefer from like jojoba oil or something. But
so, what do you guys? Are you? I already know this answer, but for the people who don't, like, what can they expect from chat? Like, do you like to answer all your chat, or, do you
we try to do everything possible to answer every question?
Okay, cool.
If some of the guys in here are like, "Oh, we remember TikTok days where moderators had to answer questions," there are times where it's like 3,000 people were in the TikTok live, and it's like, I can't answer these.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll hit the highlights as they zip past, but I can't physically. It's not going to work.
We have an amazing group of moderators that do help us out in case we do miss any question. But our goal is to try to communicate and answer and talk with our chat as much as possible. I mean, you guys are just as much a part of our adventures as we are, and the fish. So if you guys have any questions or you saw something and you're like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on, shad moving to deep water? What is your definition of deep water?" If you have any questions at all, whether, we have the answers or somebody in the chat has the answers, getting you the info you need. And the way we like to look at our content is that these are the things and experiences that we are going through in our areas. They may not work for you. they may not work in your area, but it gives you something to think about and to try to see if it will work in your area.
Good point. Creole said 187 subs. I was hoping we could do better for you guys, but hey, that's about 30 more, I guess. Yeah, almost 30 more, so that's good. So yeah, thanks for checking these guys out. Y'all, the link is in the description. It's the when I say link is in the description, it's at JayRFishing. If you just click on that, it'll take you right to their YouTube channel. YouTube's doing handles now. So that's why that looks that way. Steve Douglas said, "I remember TikTok days?" Question mark. I thought it was new. I'm running behind the times.
It was. I responded to him in the chat, but for those that didn't really understand that, there was about a 2 month period where TikTok was just throwing a massive amount of people in our lives. And the growth was so fast in the live that we couldn't keep up with things. And it kind of plateaued out to where it's like some people come in, hang out for 10, 15 minutes, and then some people leave. And it's like they come in little waves in a manageable amount of people. So it's hard to talk to.
Yeah, and just like anything, YouTube is the same as well. The longer it goes on, the more people develop channels, the more people see, you know, that they want to try it out, and then now there's another live stream going on that you kind of have to compete with, whether you want to compete or not. You're competing, so it kind of spreads it out. And I remember, like, I wasn't on TikTok, but we're just talking about like a not even a year's difference. When fishing first started getting on TikTok, you're right. There was like thousands of people. It was crazy. And then now it's kind of like, even the larger channels are seeing a big drop. I've heard. I've deleted TikTok, but I've heard the same thing. Do you see that as well?
Absolutely. Especially, I think part of it's kind of seasonal. The hunting season, there were
True.
a
Yeah.
big shift of what people wanted to see.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's a possibility that, a lot of people might be doing the same thing you did and decide to step away.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think there's it's a different crowd, definitely. And the main reason that I just stopped doing TikTok is I hate that vertical format. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
And I,
we
I I told you guys before the stream, I have a 7 rod setup, and I have to put my camera in the back of the boat just to get the rods in the camera view. So that was tough for me. Go ahead,
You know,
Jay.
that's one thing that is unique to JayRFishing is that if we do any sort of change to our platform whatsoever, you see it firsthand. We will go live. We will check to make sure that, does this angle look good? Are the rods still going to be visible? I mean, we've done that in our TikTok channel. We've done it when we got the GoPro to go live for YouTube. I do have to say, I absolutely love the YouTube wider view for our daytime fishing. When we get into the nighttime and the quote unquote glow portion
Show.
of the night, we're going to work on getting more equipment so that way it looks better on YouTube. But any change that we make, we bring you along with. I mean, it is 100% a chaotic journey for us, and you guys are there to watch, help, give any input, laugh at us. I mean, you name it. I mean, you're welcome in.
Yeah, and regardless of whether you watch them on TikTok or YouTube, you kind of get what you're seeing now: laid back, humble people. Not trying to, we just talked about their affiliate stuff, but they're not trying to shove it down your throat or nothing like that. And I take great pride in promoting people that I watch. Like, if I don't watch you, I'm not gonna try to promote you. But I know when I was watching TikTok lives, and I don't know if you guys noticed it because you got so many in there. Like I'd come in there about the same time every night because I couldn't sleep, and I go, "Oh, who's live on TikTok? Oh, look, there's JayRFishing.
You
there's
know, and
and I go between you, Has, and Chunky, and a couple other guys that we know, and it's fun to watch you guys.
the more people that come in and are more regular in the lives, Richard makes fun of me, but I notice that. That's something I take notice to. I'm not normally one to respond on our accounts. I'll use my personal account and I'll reach out to some of our followers. But if I haven't seen, somebody in like 2 days, I'm like, hey,
Are you okay?
are you okay? Like, you've got me worried. Is everything all right? I hope things. I mean, because it is a community, and one thing that we talk about constantly, and our main goal is we are a very family friendly environment. I mean, if
Exactly.
you've got young kids and you're sitting there and your kids are watching us, that brings joy to my heart because we know that hey, they might learn something, you know, or they're gonna laugh at this joke because of the chicken, and or they get to see a big fish or a little fish, and it's that family friendly environment is something that we absolutely love.
And that's the most important thing about who I promote is like, I and sometimes I come across wrong, but like if people come in the chat and try and promote somebody else's channel I've never heard of, I'm like, wait, like I don't know who that is. I don't want somebody to say, Kevin, you told me that these people were, such and such, but yet they're sitting there throwing down the F bomb and my 5-year-old's watching, so
That is definitely the thing that we didn't want to be.
As a person that has young kids that watches his channel from time to time, I can appreciate what you just said, and I think a lot of people here, that have kids, and most people that watch and have kids don't chat, so they're sitting back there right now in their chair watching on the big screen, and their kids are watching with them. So we want to make sure that they have something good to watch. Steve Douglas asked, "Have you coming to CatCon?"
We are.
We are.
Awesome. And they're actually nominated, guys, for the TikTok Creator of the Year. There's 4 of them nominated, so they're in a great company. If you haven't voted for the Golden Whiskers, guys, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? But it's a great channel here, TikTok Creator of the Year. And the Golden Whiskers will be that Friday night at CatCon. So if you haven't got your hotel for CatCon, listen, it's getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm gonna talk about a few more things right before we go.
Hey, we
Kevin,
need to book our hotel.
That sounds good. I'll put it
Kevin
on the
said,
to-do list.
"I never realized how many kids watch my content." That's right. You get that comment every once in a while. Chrissy said, "My grandsons watch at times." There you go.
I mean,
Uh,
we had a 15-year-old angler win our very first Nocturnal Nation hook giveaway.
mm,
And it was absolutely amazing. His parents checked us out. We're like, hey,
mhm.
your parents are more than welcome to check us out. Like, we are legit. We just want to send you these hooks.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely amazing for us.
Mhm.
I don't know how young he is, but he was young enough that he couldn't message us on TikTok. Like TikTok would not, even though we were following each other, they would not let him send me a message. So he had an Instagram account and actually hit us up on Instagram. And it was like, hey, I got to make sure it's okay to give you the address. And I was like, hey, whatever you need. Like, I'm a business owner. You can get your parents to call my shop and like I can talk to them, whatever we need to do. Like, you want a giveaway, and I don't want your age to be the reason that you were excluded because there was no requirement other than just being here and having a good time.
Yeah.
And he sent me a message the next day. He was like, hey, I talked to my mom and dad. They're cool with it. Here's my address.
Yep.
And like,
Yeah,
he's out with some fish.
I met some really cool kids that through YouTube. One that comes to mind is Fishing with Robbie. He did my knot tying tournament, and it's kind of like you. It's like, you're 12. Let me call your dad. And so, call dad. And I think he appreciated that. too. He's like, hey, I promise you it's a wholesome show, and he's gonna have a great time. He almost beat everybody too. So
Go figure.
yeah, I know, right? But yeah, guys, thank you for being on the show. It looks like we got you guys some more family members down there. I think somebody said you're in the 190s now, which is awesome. Um,
What?
190, 193. So that's awesome.
That's
Um,
crazy. Thank
you
you
guys,
all.
yeah, and people see what they see, and one of the things that I like to say is you just keep doing what you do, and people will be there. And this community, and I'm not saying that there's no drama, and just like you said, there's drama in TikTok, there's drama in YouTube too, but what you'll see is you'll see a lot of people in your chat that'll be there from time over and over again, supporting you, and just keep being you, and you'll do great. Which I don't need to tell you that because you're doing it on TikTok. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
What
but
happened?
but yeah, if you guys in chat, if you follow them on TikTok or YouTube, go follow them on both if you have both, and just show them some love and support. For just a couple updates on CatCon, I know Steve is going to be doing a show soon on his channel. We'll definitely do a catfish conference maybe next week, Wednesday. We'll do a catfish conference episode. Guys, I'm super excited about this. Not only did they add crappie, and by the way, you said crappie, Jamie, which was how I knew you're not from Georgia.
Yeah. Some things that I say give it away that I'm not from the South.
We gotta catch these crappies.
Yeah, crappy. Anyway, listen, there's going to be a dock shooting contest. I talked to Steve last night, and we're going and doing trying to get that organized. I think there's actually going to be a dock built in a swimming pool or something like that,
Wow.
and you can dock shoot. So you can sign up to do that. There's going to be a knot tying tournament like we have here on the channel, with some big giant hooks and some paracord and maybe some giant swivels and stuff. And it's fastest time wins. You can just come by the booth, and Amy Payne from 3+1 is going to be running that for me. You can come through. There's 2 hours each day that you can come get your time in. And there'll be an open division, a women's division, and a youth division. And each winner, you'll have 3 winners a day. So I'm getting a whole bunch of texts. They're going to get prize packages. We're going to ask the vendors to put together prize packages. So, you never know. You might get a rod or reel or, whatever. Monster rod holder. We'll see. And then last thing I want to say, or not last thing, second to last, there's going to be a blacklight booth, guys, in the Tackle Bandit trailer. So I've bringing all my black lights, and I bought some extra ones. And once Tackle Bandit sets up their shop, their trailer's empty. So we're going to turn into a blacklight booth and put all the rods, different kinds of rods that they have in line in there, so you can see how it glows, so that you can be like JayRFishing and you can make your stuff glow at night. So stop by. That's free to go in. The hook tying tournament's free. The blacklight booth is free. And then last but certainly not least, the Golden Whiskers will be at 5:30 p.m. on Friday, the 24th, at the Catfish Conference. I got my suit right over here, guys. It's a wacky suit. If you saw last year's, this one outdoes it. But be sure you vote. The voting ends February 1st, guys. We get those in. I think I've talked enough. Jamie, Richard, any last words you want to say? Anything you want to promote? Tell us when the next time you're going live.
We will be out fishing
Hopefully tomorrow. We're praying.
weather permitting tomorrow night. It depends on if the storm rolls out early enough.
It depends
If
on
not
how
Friday.
silly we're feeling. We might attempt to brave the storm. We are known to do that on time to time. Get out on the water and realize that the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour and we've made a mistake. It happened.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I didn't forget to mention something. People are making CatCon commercials. The best, and Steve's gonna put out more information about this. But if you make a CatCon commercial and post it, um, you have a chance to win a hotel room at CatCon and other stuff. So I'm just saying, make you a
Just
catfish
letting
conference
Will book
commercial.
one.
I know 3+1 Outdoors has already made one. Catfish has made one, and Hooks and Hammocks made one with a frying pan. But make those videos. Steve's gonna have more about that. The best one wins a hotel room, so make sure you get that done. All right, guys. Check out JayRFishing. You know how we do at the end of every live stream. We're gonna say a prayer and get out of here. Lord Heavenly Father, thank you for this night. Thank you for JayRFishing, Jamie and Richard. Lord, I just ask that you bless their channel here on YouTube and TikTok. And Lord, just thank you for good people like them. Thank you for all the people in chat. Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to talk about the activity and the resources that we love that you've given us. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Mhm.
All right, 199 subscribers. Man, you might hit 200 by the time I hit this end button.
Oh wait, last thing. Bacon's
one more
good.
thing.
Bacon is good. Bacon is great. But bacon is never baked.
I agree. 200. There you go. You just pushed it over. If you don't have 200 now, I don't know what they're doing there. 199. Come on, guys, you can get them to. Anyway, y'all, thanks for being here. Everybody in chat. Till next time. Happy fishing, y'all.